Welcome to Tiny Travelers, brought to you by BabyQuip, the family travel podcast where we make traveling with little ones easier, smarter, and more fun. I'm Sarah, a travel-loving mom who knows the joys and chaos of exploring with little ones. Each week, we dive into parent-tested strategies, travel hacks, and honest advice on what really works with kids. So buckle up, grab your travel planner, and let's make your next family adventure unforgettable. Pack light, travel happy. Welcome back to Tiny Travelers, brought to you by BabyQuip, the podcast where we talk about traveling with kids and traveling through life with kids too. I'm Sarah Huff, gear expert at BabyQuip and host of Tiny Travelers. Around here, we talk about family travel, baby gear, and how to make life with kids a little more manageable and a lot more enjoyable. Today's guest is someone who truly lives and breathes making travel easier for families. Kelly Inglett is a BabyQuip quality provider in the Smoky Mountains, and she's heading into her 6th season helping families get set up for their vacations with everything from cribs and strollers to outdoor gear, pet gear, and even mobility equipment. She's helping more than 26,000 families, which is honestly incredible. And what really stands out is how much care she puts into every single delivery. Families love her because she treats every order like she's helping her own kids get ready for vacation. And when she's not helping other families travel, she's doing it herself, exploring new places with her husband, adult kids, and grandkids. Kelly, welcome to Tiny Travelers.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad we finally got to make this work.
Oh, me too. I'm so glad. So you've helped thousands of families travel easier, lighter. And you also travel a lot with your own family, including multiple generations. What's something that people don't realize about traveling with a big multi-generational group until they actually do it?
I think that most people go into vacations with the rose-colored glasses on, that this is going to be the perfect family vacation. You've got this all planned out. But what they fail to realize is not everybody wants to do the same things as you do. And as much as you plan, there's going to be someone, usually someone that's under 4 feet tall, that is going to say, oh, no, I did not want to go to the beach today. Mm-hmm. I think I just want to sit here and scream. And it doesn't matter how much you plan. It's never going to be perfect. You will never have the perfect family vacation. Probably the most perfect one you can have is the one that you don't plan at all.
Oh, interesting. Yes, I think if you take out the word perfect from literally anything that you do, won't it be so much more enjoyable anyways?
If you don't set your standards as high, then you don't disappoint yourself. It's a horrible way to put it, but at the same time, when you have multiple people going on vacation with you that they're putting the time and the energy and the money into, everybody has different expectations, and you have to be flexible and kind of going with the flow as much as you can so that everybody has enjoyable parts of the vacation so that everybody goes home satisfied.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So you're not a big trip planner, or are you?
I am my daughter-in-law is the big trip planner. I let her make most of the major decisions as far as attractions and the things that she thinks that the kids will enjoy the most. So I plan to do nothing. That's my plan. I plan for the downtime. That's,
Amen.
The sleeping in, the sitting on the beach with my toes in the sand and staring at the clouds. That's what I plan for.
Mm-hmm.
Because my everyday life is so busy. I don't need anybody. I don't need a whole agenda to make me happy.
Yes, that's how I feel too. So what do you think makes a trip feel smooth and enjoyable for everyone?
I think that the key to it feeling smooth and enjoyable is everybody having their own independence in the trip, their own time to do what's important to them, and everybody staying being I don't use a word. Gosh, everybody being cooperative and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
With my family, especially, we're a mixed family. We have 4 boys between me and my husband. And we did not become a family till they were preteens. So 4 boys, preteens, with about a 4-year age gap between the 4 of them. There were days that nobody liked anybody.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
so it's the same thing as adults now. They they tolerate each other most of the time. They don't always get along because they're very individual people, very different. So if everybody can get along and we don't raise our voice over dinner, I think that makes my trip successful. And if I get to spend time with each one individually, each family individually, that makes my time successful.
Okay. I love that. I really do. Okay. So multi-generational trips, that's becoming a lot more popular, at
Yes.
over the years. I've been in the travel industry for a long time, and it is becoming a lot more accessible, especially, with the introduction of a lot more mobility friendly gear, mobility friendly rentals, and all that kind of stuff. But multi-generational trips sound amazing, I think, in theory, right? All of our family all together. That
Yes.
doesn't sound that great to me, but some people. But they're also a lot, right? Because there's a lot more.
There are a lot. Especially if with me being the mom of and the grandma, I would be the one that would be looked to take the lead in this and to find the accommodations for everyone and to book everything and to plan our trip. And I don't want that kind of stress on me. That's not a vacation for me. When my kids were little, I can remember saying that it's not a vacation unless I don't have to cook. If we go on if we go on vacation and we're in an Airbnb and I have to cook a meal, I have to do that at home. Someone needs to either cook for me or we need to eat out.
Right.
But imagine that times 4 families. I mean, it's 4 whole families. It's a lot of stress. So one of the things that we do a little differently that kind of makes it more enjoyable and makes us want to do it again year after year is we kind of do a separate but together vacation. We do we decide on a week, a location. Usually it's a Florida beach because I live in the mountains. I vacation at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll pick a town and we each book our accommodations separately. And that way I get, what I want. I want something that's, I say that about the cooking, but I do want a kitchen because if I decide I want to cook, I want a full-size stove and a full-size refrigerator.
Yep.
I want to be able to cook. And we like to have peace and quiet. We want to be out of the hustle and bustle, so we avoid the real touristy locations in whatever town we decide to go in. And we will get something off the beach because I don't have to have oceanfront as long as I can get to the beach fairly easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. But my son, my daughter-in-law, my son, they love oceanfront. They want a pool. They want to entertain the kids for a whole day without leaving their condo or their
Yep.
or their hotel. So they look for something on the beach with all of the right out the door amenities. So we each have our own separate space. I mean, I would rather spend the money on a big bathroom with a nice shower in it than to have the ocean front. So we've always booked separate because we could never agree on an Airbnb or a Vrbo, when we tried to book together because there was something about it we just didn't, one of us didn't like. So we we booked separately. We spend part of our vacation separate. Normally, my daughter-in-law, they'll take the kids with them for the first few days. They'll have them. We settle in and do our thing. I get my rest time, my beach time, my book in my nose, go to sleep in the chair time. And then those important, attractions that my daughter-in-law so carefully chooses to do, we'll do those towards the middle of the trip. And we'll kind of join forces for a few days and we'll hit all of the things that, with this particular family, there's 3 kids, and there are 3 kids under 6. So you really need one adult to one child for those kind of trips to a theme park,
Yes.
or
If you want to
because
lose
if you're
one
not,
of your kids, maybe don't
well,
have theirs push you
especially
up around.
since they will not ride in a stroller or the oldest 2 especially will not ride in a stroller or wagon. So you're constantly chasing one of them down somewhere. So we join voices for that. So that makes those attractions much easier to manage when you've got more adult supervision. You know, you can just kind of break off from the group and handle a bathroom break. And then join back in, and it's not as stressful on the adults. So that's when we plan our big vacation-y things, is in the middle of the week, and then towards the end of the week, we'll take the kids for the last few days, and mom and dad, they get their one-on-one time. They get to actually have a chance to relax and recharge their batteries before they go back home. And we get the one-on-one time that we like. I like sitting in the sand with the kids for a whole day. And, there's certain things I like to do with them that their parents may not be interested in doing.
Yeah.
So the way we kind of split it up, it helps us to be able to, everybody goes home feeling like they had a good vacation, a satisfying vacation. They've had some family fun. They've had some fun with the kids. They've had some fun without the kids. And everybody goes home feeling satisfied with the money and the time that they invested in this vacation. And we've done that.
So cool. I love that.
We've done that about 4 years now, for basically different times. The length of time varies, but it just really does work. I mean, we had these dreams in our heads of renting a big beach house and having everybody stay there. And sometimes it's family. Families are messy, and we don't always like each other for a whole 2 days, much less 7.
Exactly.
So it gives us the privacy we need to do when we do it that way. And, and as we're adding in, my other boys are now wanting to being a part of this. And they've seen pictures and heard stories about how nice their vacation was. So it's gonna change a little bit because I'll have more families that I'll have to split my time with. But either way, I'm the happiest when my house is full, as long as they all go home at the end of the day. But 4 boys is a lot. I
have 2, and that's too many.
4 boys is a lot. Then they all have wives and significant others, except for one, and then you add that into it. So I'm happiest when my house is full. So doing vacations like this, I get that full house, but then I still get my alone time. I get time with just the grandkids. It just seems to work well, and I'm excited to have all 4 of them. Hopefully fingers crossed, this summer will be the first time that we'll do all 4 families together at one vacation. So
okay.
I'll have to update you after that and let you know how that works out.
I'll check in to see if you've made it. Okay, so you talked about kind of, you don't like to do a lot of the planning. And honestly, I don't either. It kind of stresses me out. So how do multi-generational kind of family trips, how can you plan a trip like that doesn't leave someone or everyone stressed out?
Well, for us, we're kid-centered. So for our together activities, it's always going to be something that is centered around a new experience for the kids, a new adventure to take them on, something that they, one thing that we haven't done yet that hopefully we get to do this summer is we want to do swim with the dolphins. We've never done that. So the kids are so excited about that. So, so in our together time, we just have to remind ourselves that the focus is not about us. It's about the kids at that point. And they're pretty easy to please, honestly. I mean, we do a lot of exciting things. They love trying different foods. My 6-year-old grandson will eat anything. Now, he might not eat it twice, but he'll put anything in his mouth. And I love, taking him to different restaurants and trying we had Cuban food last time, and just the different stuff. Um, but we try to spend our time together with the kids, and then know that we're going to have that time without the family, or with the ones we choose to be around if we want to do the things that are important to us personally. And that's kind of how we juggle around, and make everybody satisfied with the activites.
Everybody kind of plans a little something that they'll enjoy.
Yes, exactly. But but the things we have to worry about if everybody else is going to like it really aren't about us anyway. They're about the kids.
Right.
Children's museums. I love taking them to children's museums because each one is different, and they come away with a different experience from everyone we've been to.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes. There's like a children's museum in almost every city that you go to.
I had no idea until I started Googling and looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
How many random places that we've been that have children's museums, and they're usually very inexpensive, if not free. And they can take half the day if if the kids don't want to leave after half the day.
Right, because some of them are huge, and there's always so many different activities.
I think the neatest one we were in was in it was in Pensacola, Florida, and they had an entire children's Publix shopping like grocery store, the entire little miniature store inside that thing. And they loved it.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
They had even refrigerated freezer. They had everything. They had 3 checkout lanes. That was the best.
Okay, so we kind of talked about how you travel with your group. You get different accommodations that suit everybody, but you're still together and kind of close. And, when you're traveling with a big group, that kind of home base is going to be important because everybody will be doing different things. Somebody will need to go home and take a nap or whatever the case.
Right.
So what do you think families should look for in a rental or vacation setup that's going to make it feel kind of comfortable for everybody?
You want to make sure that you have enough bathrooms. I mean, especially if you're going to have multiple groups or multiple generations. The worst thing is to be on vacation and not have enough bathrooms in your rental for your family.
Don't try to skimp on the bathrooms.
I raised 4 boys in a house with 1 bathroom. Thank goodness I was the only girl because I did take most of the time. But that is something that we don't skimp on. And you want to make sure that you have the full kitchen. And I always have groceries delivered before I arrive, so that when we walk in the door, there is something to drink, something to snack on. And I don't have to worry about if we decide not to go out to eat first night or not to do our full grocery shopping. There's something we can eat, and we don't, if we get in late, we don't have to worry about that.
I love that.
So you want plenty of refrigerator space for your cold drinks, and you and you also want to we tend to go to the beach, so we also look for places that have other off-site amenities, like maybe they have an outdoor swimming pool or a playground in the in the neighborhood. Anything that's a freebie that, you can entertain the kids or entertain yourself that goes along with it. We did a lake house in Florida one time that had paddle boats, and that was the best. I mean, we had more fun on those paddle boats than we did anything else that year.
Yes.
But, you want to check your amenities. You want to check your bathrooms.
Yeah.
And also, you don't want to be too far away from everything. You don't want to spend most of your vacation traveling from wherever your house is to the main shopping areas, the beach. You don't. I don't go by what they say in the listings anymore. I actually Google the address, look at the routes to make sure it's not like an hour with traffic, but on a good day, it's 15 minutes.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
they're going to tell you the 15 minutes to the beach. So that's the kind of things that we look for. Yeah, that's the bathrooms is the most important. I can tell
Yes,
I'm a boy
especially
mom
when
with
you
a
have
lot of
little
boys.
kids and older people.
Yes,
Like,
and
you gotta have
and
enough.
toilet training kids. We had, oh my gosh, we had because all of my kids are kind of grandkids are grouped together. They're 6, almost 6, 5, 5, 3.5, and 2.
That's a lot of
So
kids.
that's a lot of kids that were potty training all at the same time.
Right.
So I could, we had at one point when I had two of one of my sons visiting and the other one his kids here. We had 3 that were potty training at the same time, and everybody had to go to the bathroom always at the same
Always.
time, and it was an emergency. So I had. Luckily, I rent baby gear, so
Oh my gosh.
I had, so I had extra potty seats, and I lined them up in the hallway outside of the
Oh
bathroom.
my gosh, that's genius. Hey, so we both rent baby gear. So what do
Yes.
you recommend that families bring with them versus rent when they get there?
Well, okay, for us, we never bring toys. We always, always, always rent toys
Okay.
because, for one thing, it's convenient to not have to carry them. But another thing is like Christmas when they get there and they open that box of toys and it's all new toys that they've not seen before, and it will entertain them for hours and hours and hours because it's something different than what they have at home.
Yep.
And you can stop any sibling argument with a brand new toy.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. And our
Yes.
providers at Baby Quip, they love toys. I mean, I've seen the most amazing things people have done with toy setups. And
I'm always inspired by what these ladies out there Baby Quip come up with for their toy packages, and and the different accommodations that they put together and the little mini packages. I have one grandson that is so into Matchbox cars and race. I could go and I can find someone who does just a whole Matchbox car setup with the tracks and everything. And he'd be happy for the whole trip. He probably wouldn't have to leave the house. He would be very happy with that. But so they always have something for everyone. And I, as a provider, I love making toy packages is like the best part of my job. Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's the one thing that's not the tedious same thing over and over, clean the stroller, right? This, I get to put my creativity into these.
Yep.
And I get to put my personal touch and, and try to, if I happen to have something in my inventory that they say is a child's interest of like they love unicorns and I have this awesome unicorn, it makes my day to put that in that box and know that kid is going to open it up and be like, oh, look, Mom, look at this unicorn.
No, totally.
How did they know?
Yep.
So that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
But another thing that I think it's important to read, especially if you're doing beach vacations, we don't travel with strollers or wagons. Because first of all, I haven't put any of those kids on an airplane yet, and I'm not ready for that. But we never have room in the vehicle for a stroller, or a wagon. It doesn't matter how small it folds. There's something else that we need for that space.
For sure.
So we usually do a beach wagon, so that tired little legs do not know how to walk at the end of the day. So you've got to have something to haul them
Sometimes
back.
At the beginning of the day, those little legs don't know how to walk either.
Sometimes my legs don't know how to walk at the end of the day. and I want to sit in the stroller.
Right?
But I can
Who's going to push me?
Yeah, exactly. I say that all the time. So we always rent at least a wagon, if not a stroller. If we're going to a theme park or something like that, we definitely do the stroller too, just so we have options.
Yep.
Because they can't decide what they want to ride in sometimes, and we have to have options and multiple people to push the multiple things, which is why it's so important for us to all do those together.
Yes. And you know what? Something you said earlier was that, each place you go to, it's going to be a little bit different. And what I love about Baby Quip is that you get to rent that specialty gear from that QP that knows that area and knows what to do in that area. And it's amazing.
Yes. Like I would have to ask someone which strollers I can't take into Disney because I'm not a Disney area provider.
Right.
But those providers that work that area, they know exactly what stroller you need. You give them the height, weight of your kids, and they will put you in the correct stroller to go all over Disney. And I would have to lean on them for advice on that for sure.
And I mean, if you're going hiking or biking or whatever, you need to have the hiking carrier that you need. Or, like you said, you're going to the beach, you can get beach gear, chairs, towels, umbrella, like all kinds of stuff. It just depends on the area. So instead of, leave that off the planning list. Like, what do I need for the beach or whatever? The
thought of not having to worry about a beach towel that I can rent those, that's an insane idea. It's wonderful.
I know.
It's wonderful.
And it just takes one more thing off your list.
I don't have to haul all the sand back home with me in the beach toys. I can rent them and send them back.
And that QP gets to deal with that sand. We all love that.
They get the sand and I get the mud on the hiking backpack carriers from the mountains here.
Oh yeah.
The people go take my hiking backpack carriers and get under the waterfalls with them on. And I mean, that's what I get. So they can have the sand though. I will take my mud over that anyway.
You'll take the mud.
Yes.
So you've obviously experienced multi-generational travel, both personally and professionally. You help your family do it, and then you help other families do it. So you kind of live this experience full circle. What has traveling with your family taught you about life, or being a mom and a grandma, or,
sometimes it's the littlest things that you have to really slow down, and you have to be in the moment. And it's the littlest things that will leave the most lasting memories. It's the things that you don't expect. You plan all these big things, these big activities, going to Disney, but it might be that, you decide to bring stuff to do a craft with them on a downtime in an evening. And that's what they remember. They take that craft home and they hang it up in their room and they go, remember when we did this? When we did this, we went to the beach, Yaya. I'm a Yaya. I'm not a grandma. I'm a Yaya. But remember, Yaya, we made this at the beach. And that's what they talk about. So it's the little things that you don't take for granted. Enjoy yourself with the big things, but don't forget to slow down and take your time and be in the moment.
I really love that. Yeah. Sometimes, we all need that reminder, when things get busy and hectic and we want everything to be perfect. It's totally okay to just slow down and enjoy the time that you're spending with people, doing whatever you're doing.
That's what, and I tell people, staycations are underrated. Just taking time off work and not planning on going anywhere and not planning on doing any big things around your house, but just, sitting down and catching up on my binge watching on my TV shows, if I have a day off. That's more relaxing sometimes than all of the elaborate planning and money you can spend. It's and especially when you're doing something like that with your family.
Yep.
Oh, and don't forget to bring popcorn or buy popcorn. My grandkids love movie night. We have it at home once a month. We do it on every vacation. We have one night where we just do the popcorn and our jammies and hot chocolate if it's colder weather. And it doesn't matter if it's a movie we've seen 100 times. But it's being together and watching that movie and eating that popcorn that they look forward to on a regular basis, and vacations included. We do it on vacation as well.
I love that. Kelly, this has been such a helpful and heartwarming conversation. I love how practical your advice is, but also how much you focus on what really matters, which is making memories together. Before we wrap up, where can listeners find you if they're planning a trip to the Smoky Mountains or want to learn more about you?
Oh, okay. So you can find me on Baby Clip's website. You can just search Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Dollywood. Even if you put that in there, I'll pop up. I also have on Facebook and Instagram, and I am working on building a pretty interesting travel blog that I'll be excited to share soon. My goal is to make sure that not only my customers, but anybody who happens to come across it is going to have the best vacation possible when they come here with the least amount of effort. That's the key.
I
Have
love
fun with
that.
little money and little effort.
Low effort, low dollar cost, big return on the memories.
Big return on the memories.
I love that. Guys, we'll have all of those links in our show notes. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you're planning a family trip, especially a big one, I hope this episode gave you a little more confidence and a lot of helpful ideas. Make sure to subscribe to Tiny Travelers for more conversations about family travel and navigating life with kids. Until next time, safe travels wherever life with kids takes you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Tiny Travelers. I hope today's episode gave you the inspiration and practical tips to make your next family adventure easier, stress-free, and more fun. If you loved today's episode, head over to the show notes for promo codes and exclusive resources to help you plan unforgettable trips with your little ones. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Happy travels, and I'll see you next time.